What's going on, everyone? And
Hello,
ni
ni
hao.
hao.
This is the podcast where I, myself, Christian,
And Clayton.
And Ehab.
talk about Japan. So, some of you may already know this, but as of October 11th, 2022, Japan is reopening their border for the first time in 3 years.
Woo!
You know what this means, Christian?
What?
Cash rules everything around me. Chris, grab the money. Dollar bill, yo. Time to spend all that money on traveling.
That was pretty good, Ehab. Did you just come up with that on the spot?
I did not. That's from Wu-Tang.
Oh, I was really impressed for a second. I was like, I didn't know you could rap.
Thank you.
I'm still dancing.
It reached all the way to Hokkaido, man.
He was vibing with your wavelength. So like Ehab was saying, dollar bills, because you're going to need a lot of them to come out to Japan.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to dedicate this episode to give you the best experience ever if you were to come to Japan. Because we have 3 veterans in the room. We have veteran Clayton, veteran Ehab, and Mr. Christian is what my students call me.
Or veteran Christian.
Yeah, boy. So, yeah, we don't want you to fall into all the touristy traps, so buckle up your seatbelt, grab some popcorn, and do whatever else they say, because you're in for a treat with this episode.
Most definitely, because Japan's been closed for about 3 years, so I feel like there's a lot of people who actually been wanting to come to Japan and haven't had the chance since the borders have been closed.
Yeah, we get a lot of comments saying that kind of stuff, so, and I could only imagine Japan's a great place.
It is, and I feel like the 3 of us, since we've been living here, we've been to a lot of places, and we have a good amount of experience to share with people and places that we would recommend. I don't know about certain areas because I haven't really explored as much, but we all are covering different areas of Japan, so I feel like this is a well-balanced veteran team right here.
Yeah. First one, avoid Hokkaido.
Someone speaking from experience.
Hey, there's some good spots there.
I haven't been there yet.
How about avoid Hokkaido with the exception of Sapporo?
There you go.
Yeah. Or Furano. Furano's very beautiful.
Yes, only during summer though. Oh, I mean, if you like skiing. You know what? Ignore what I said. First thing, if you come to Japan, eat some ramen or a rice ball. They're amazing.
There you go.
Right? It's cheap, they're everywhere, and then you can say oh, I like this one better than this one, or this ramen shop's way better. This is the good Denny's, and that one's the bad Denny's. You know.
Yeah.
But what is onigiri? What kind of onigiri would you get? What onigiri flavor?
I like the ikura, the
What
fish
is
egg
ikura?
one. Isn't that the
fish egg.
salmon egg?
Yeah, it's salmon.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. You take a bite, and then it's just a burst of salty goodness.
Do all the balls be in the middle?
Yeah, all the balls are in the middle. It's just filled with balls.
Can we call them eggs instead of balls?
Can we call them what? Eggs?
Can we call them eggs instead of balls?
All these egg balls are just in the center of the...
I was just curious, when you eat that one. I've never had that one, so I was curious, is it all centered just in the middle? And, when you eat it, it gushes out?
Yeah, it's usually in the middle. But, I mean, honestly, you can just, hit up a kombini, and it's just filled with, onigiris, the little sandwiches. I would say, when you come to Japan, and you'll probably have to visit one anyway, go into a kombini. They're super cool.
Yeah, when I still lived in America, the idea of just eating a rice ball didn't really appeal to me, because I thought, oh, it's just a ball of rice. What's so cool about that? But I think Japan takes even the smallest food like that to kind of the next level, because they usually use high quality rice too, and you could really taste the difference. Even just looking at it, they look physically different than maybe, I don't know, your cheap store-bought rice. And it's one of those things that, although it sounds simple, it really just hits the spot on a certain, as a good snack.
Right? And with some of the rice, actually, if you put it to a magnifying glass, you can see it's branded. It's the high quality ones will say Kirkland on it. This episode also brought to you by Costco.
And I heard the ones that are that'll make you sad is when you look really closely, it'll say Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. Oh my god.
Oh.
Why you gotta bring us down like that? He's died so many times.
I know. Hey, those rice are actually pretty good. I like Uncle Ben.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
Oh, they are good. But the Japanese brand Koshi Hikari takes rice to the whole nother level.
It does, yeah. Like
What family member died for that one?
Uh, the plant's parents? I don't know.
dude, like I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch Pokemon, like the very first Pokemon
Oh,
anime.
I already know where this is going.
Dude, like whenever Brock would pull out an onigiri and eat, I'm like, those look like really good. And then like when I lived in America, I never had an onigiri that good until I came to Japan. And like now I know why Brock loves them so much, and Ash and all of them love it.
I don't really think he cares for rice balls. I think he likes jelly-filled donuts. If you don't understand, then you're too young.
Does he still like them now on the new ones? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't watched Pokemon in years.
He's not on the show. It's with that new kid. I
What
can't
new
come
kid?
up with a name.
Wait, they don't have Brock anymore?
No, it's
Oh
it's
my
no.
god.
Yeah. Now it's ruined forever.
Didn't they usually swap out like the Ash's sidekicks with someone else every new season?
Yeah. I mean, the first one was Terry, so Brock left and then Terry came, and then they went back to the main island, and then Brock came back, and it was like, oh, hey, it's been... Pokemon history, what are we talking about?
We'll save that for another episode.
Oh my god.
I mean, we all grew up with Pokemon, so we know most of them.
I do love that show.
I mean, hey, speaking of Pokemon, if you come to Japan, I highly recommend you visit a Pokemon Center. And yes, they exist. And it's probably not the Pokemon Center that you're thinking. You know, you go there and get your Pokemon healed. It's just like a store that sells a lot of Pokemon goods. So you can buy stuffed animals, folders, notebooks, that kind of stuff. And also some nice little Pokemon candy. And you could take a picture with like Pokemon statues and stuff like that. It's really cool.
I know the viewers won't be able to see, but it's my little Jigglypuff from the
Oh my
Pokemon
God,
Center.
It's so cute.
It's so
Nice.
cute! It's so damn cute. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think you can find basically a Pokemon shop or a Pokemon Center pretty much anywhere in Japan. Like, we even have in my area. I think there's in Hokkaido as well, right?
Yeah, in Sapporo.
I think they're in like main cities like Tokyo, Osaka. Is it in like the city area for you, or is it kind of on the outskirts?
It's in the city area, a little bit in the outskirt, but it's not far from me. Like if I ride the train, maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And what else is fun about the Pokemon stuff is that some of the manhole covers, they have the different designs for the Pokemon. Like in Hokkaido, we have the Arctic Fox. So we have the Vulpix and then the Ice Vulpix. It's so cute.
I don't know what we have.
An orange Pokemon.
Some Pokemon I probably don't even know because there's like 1,000 now at this point.
Right.
Speaking of like Pokemon centers around Japan, like one easy way to get around Japan if you want to visit all the different places is to get the Foreigner's Travel Pass. And
Yes.
How much was it again, Clayton?
So for 7 days, it was $214 USD as of the time of recording. 14 days, $360, and then for 21 days, which is like a ridiculously long time, it's $450.
That is so worth it.
Right? Because that works with some Shinkansens too.
Yeah. And what are Shinkansens again?
They're the bullet trains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
We
ones that go
don't
like
have that.
crazy fast.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I came to Japan, I for sure abused the heck out of that pass. I went from northern Japan all the way down to south and back up because, hey, you can do it for, I don't want to say free, but you buy the pass and you can ride it as much as you want.
Right?
Mhm.
You didn't abuse anything. You utilized what you bought.
Honestly, yeah, it would have cost probably more than $1,000 to do what I did if you just buy the ticket. And also, when you ride the Shinkansen, it's really cool to go from the east part of Japan down south because you'll pass Mount Fuji and you can get a nice view of it, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I've never climbed it. I know you guys haven't climbed it, right?
No.
I have not.
So I have a friend who he hiked it a couple of times, and he told me like it's possible to actually do it within a day if you go there early in the morning and then head down towards like after you get up. It's possible, but I think most people what they do is they go on the hiking trail, climb the mountain, and they stay there for the night because they have like places you can stay there, and then you can go home. And I heard there's like special curry at a certain, like, I'm not sure, hotel, one of the places you could stay there too.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
My friends did the halfway mark, and then they waited the night, and then they woke up super early so they could get the sunrise from Fuji picture.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think you could actually climb all the way to the top of the mountain. I
I
hear
think
like
you can, no?
I think you have to be a professional, and I heard like even then it could be a little bit dangerous. But I think most of the trail that the people, like normal tourists climb or locals, I'm pretty sure that's pretty safe, and they do have like a lot of little shops and stuff, and that curry restaurant you were talking about. But I think you can still get up like a pretty good distance. Yeah. I also hear they give you like a walking stick too, and the higher you go, you can get it stamped like a different stamp.
I didn't know about that actually.
That's super cool.
But yeah, I haven't climbed it yet, but it's definitely a life goal. Like, it's definitely one of the things I would like to do at least once in my life.
Nice. You can do it, Ihab. I believe in you.
I know I can. It's just a matter of going there.
Oh, yeah, doing it. Yeah, that's a...
Because you can go at your own paces, like go with people, have fun. You can go at a slower pace or fast pace. It's up to you.
Right.
Yeah. There are actually a lot of mountains in Japan, not just Mount Fuji. Like, even my area, we have something called the Ichizu-san. And I know, like, even in, like, Tokyo areas, like, they have places. I don't know their names, but, like, I know there are, like, actual hiking spots there as well. So there's, like, a lot of hiking spaces in Japan that you can go to.
There's a lot of moving things you can do in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the country itself is 80% mountains too, so there's always something you can climb.
Yeah. But yeah, for places to stay while you're traveling Japan, they have hotels here. We don't have motels in Japan, but we have something called ryokan. What is that exactly?
Ryo means dragon, and kan is like the wrong way to say can, so it's a can dragon hotel.
Oh, wow.
You can buy dragon meat in a can?
That sounds actually pretty good. I'm curious what flavor is it.
I would try it. I would try dragon
scales.
sashimi.
It'd probably be spicy.
We're hot. Yeah, so ryokan, it's just a Japanese-style hotel. The ground is usually tatami, and you sleep on a little futon, a little ground bed. I actually just went to one last weekend, and it was so much fun. When you get to the hotel, they have you take off your shoes and put on these little slippers. And then after you go up to your room, they'll have you put on a yukata, or traditional Japanese clothes. Kind of looks like a really thin kimono. And they're really comfortable. And that night, you go down for dinner and they prepare you like this really traditional Japanese meal that comes with like sushi. I got like crab and stuff like that too, which was the first time I had crab in Japan.
How was it?
It was good. I really like crab a lot. And then what was crazy was when I went back up to my room, my futon was already set up on the ground. So like they go into your room when you're having dinner and they set up your futon.
That's super cool.
And you don't have to worry about getting your stuff stolen. Chances of that happening in Japan are really slim, especially at like a hotel like Ryokan.
Yeah,
right.
As long as you don't go to Chinatown, you're pretty much fine in Japan.
Yeah, they might just steal your umbrella from right under you.
Just as long as you have your umbrella in your hands at all time, you'll be fine.
Right. That's the next thing we'll talk about. Never trust an old lady in Japan.
If you don't understand the reference, you have to listen to our last episode. But the last thing about the ryokan that I really liked is usually they have a hot spring called an onsen inside. So, after or before you eat dinner, you just walk down there and you can get into some natural hot spring water, which is just so much fun. It's relaxing, and it's just a really good way to enjoy Japanese culture.
Yeah, I think going to an onsen is like a definite must when you come to Japan.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Don't be nervous that you're naked. People are naked all the time. I'm naked right now. They're laughing because they're uncomfortable.
I gotta go now.
I do remember that actually was one of the first things I did in Japan when I first came here. Was going to an onsen with friends, and it was a little different than what I'm used to because I never really do that. You go all out and just go inside of the same bath with other people, and
you don't
really
just
nice.
do that.
You
No.
just do that?
No, we don't do that. But in Japanese society, it's actually normal. Like a lot of people go with their families and they enjoy it with their kids. And I enjoyed it a lot, and I still enjoy it now, especially in the winter.
Right? Well, coming from California, and my house did not have a bath. Like, it had a shower, but no bath.
Yeah.
So coming to Japan and being like, oh my gosh, I can sit in here and it's super nice and warm, and I don't have to worry about spending $100 in water. It's great.
Just a small piece of advice. So, tattoos aren't yet common in Japan. So, if you have one, I recommend you look for a hot spring that allows them. Because usually at most hot springs, they'll have like a sign that says, no tattoos. So, I'm sure a quick Google search, you'd be able to find some of those hotels where you could stay and, get in the hot spring.
Yeah, if it's small enough you can cover it with something, then that's fine as well.
Yeah. Or just demand to be let in and say that your Yakuza friends won't like this.
Or you get rid of that tattoo and get laser surgery or something.
There you go.
That sounds extremely painful.
Terrible. So, one of the best foods in Japan is ramen. It's amazing. When you come here, I suggest trying a bunch of different places to see which one you like and which style you like and how you like it. It's so good. It's so good. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it!
With ramen, which is what is interesting in America, we just have the image of ramen. Like you go to a Japanese restaurant, you just eat ramen. You don't really think of like much about it, like how the thickness of the soup is, how light it is. But when you come to Japan, there's so many varieties of ramen that you'll start to notice the differences. Like they'll even have it written on the menu. It'll say like kotteri, which is like a thicker broth, compared to assari, which is like a lighter one. I'm very curious, like which ones that you guys like.
I like a lighter broth.
Lighter, so assari. What about you, Clayton?
I like a thick broth. One that you could cut with a knife.
Oh, wow. That's not even a broth at that point. It's just like you froze it.
Right, it's like they added a Jello pack to it. E, how about yours?
I like both. I think I like maybe a thick or kotteri a little more, but I like both a lot.
That is the correct answer.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I grew up in a household that didn't really season their food a lot, so I can't really have something that tastes really strong or just tastes too strong to me. So I like something that's a little bit weaker. Thank you.
That actually might be something people notice when they come to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of the food is flavored lighter, I'll say.
I think it depends on the region, because the Tokyo area, I know they're known for having like a thicker broth, darker broth too. Even like in the cup of noodles, instant noodles, it's a little bit darker than something from like Kyoto, which is another part of Japan.
Really?
They use a different dashi, which is just the soup stock.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Another really cool thing I think you should at least try once in Japan is go to your favorite American fast food chain in Japan. And I think you'd be really surprised to see how much it's different, but at the same time it's the same. Because, for example, with me, the first time I came to Japan, I remember walking late at night trying to find something to eat, get some food to go, because I was tired and just wanted to go back to my hotel. And every restaurant I went into and said, hey, can I get some food to go? They just laughed at me, because they don't really have that culture in Japan. And then I was like, you know what? When in doubt, just go to McDonald's. You know you can get your food to go. And I went there, and I was really surprised with how much, like I said, it's just so much different, but also so much the same. I would say their menu in Japan's a little bit smaller, but they also have like a lot of seasonal or Japanese exclusive items. Sometimes they have like the Myunvuing pie. Sometimes they have the Sakura cherry blossom flavored desserts and stuff like that. And it's really cool to try those kind of Japanese seasonal items because, I mean, really, you can only do that in Japan.
Right. Go to Starbucks, get all those coffee mugs.
I actually really think it's funny how in America, Starbucks is kind of just like a place to go and pick up some coffee. In Japan, it's almost viewed as like a fancy cafe where people go and they sit down and study. And I don't know. I personally really like Starbucks in Japan. I think they have really good dessert items that they change out every month. And I'm not just talking about different variants of pumpkin spice. Like, for example, right now it's fall. So they have like a lot of chestnut and pumpkin flavored stuff.
Yeah. Kombucha spice.
Have you guys ever been to like an American restaurant in Japan?
I feel like I've been to what was it? I mean, would pizza count? Like a Pizza Hut or
Yeah.
Domino's?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean-
there.
What?
No, me too. Me too. I had Domino's too.
Okay, I'm curious. Like, wait, you guys have Domino's in your area?
No, this was when I was in Okinawa.
Oh, I see. I mean, we have hamburgers and pizza here too. It's good, but it doesn't taste the same in America. Like when I had that Costco pizza, it was something we talked about in last episode. I
Yeah.
could tell the tomato sauce and cheese tasted different compared to what I'll get in like Domino's Pizza Hut in Japan. It's good, but like I feel like the Costco pizza or the American kind of pizza and hamburger have a richer taste.
I agree. It's and I mean that's what we grew up with too. So we're used to that. And when we tried the other food, it's just different.
It is.
Cuz like with the red sauce here, they'll add ketchup for sweetness.
Yeah.
That's different to me.
Yeah.
And by that I mean wrong. But
What is that? What is the pasta here called? Neapolitan pizza, where they use ketchup instead of actual tomato
I thought it was
sauce.
Napoleon.
Is it Napoleon? I thought it was. I mean, you're probably right.
Napoleon? I can't
Napolitan.
remember. We'll have to. It's the one with the sausages too, right? And the mushrooms.
Yeah, that is called Neapolitan.
Napolitan, yeah, you're right then.
like the 3 flavored ice cream?
That's
Isn't that
called Neapolitan?
Neapolitan? Is that... Oh,
Silly languages.
it's all the same.
Right. But yeah, when you try the stuff that you're used to at your country and you come to a new country, it's going to taste different. It's going to be more, oh God, what's it called? Catered to the people of this country.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which is a fun way to see how cultures differ.
yeah.
I think another fun way to see how cultures differ, if you're from America, you've probably been to a movie theater because
Mhm.
it's everywhere. Please, if you want to see a movie and you're gonna go to Japan, watch it in Japan. It is so different. There's no clapping. There's no laughing. I'm sorry. When the movie's over, they clap, right?
I've never seen them clap actually.
Oh, really? But it's so different to what I was used to. Ehab, the last movie I saw in America was Endgame with You.
Oh yeah,
Nothing but cheers and screaming through the whole movie.
yeah,
That was an experience.
yeah.
Coming
It
to
was-
Japan and watching a movie in like almost silence, that itself is an experience too. It
What
was
did
super
you
cool.
watch?
I'm going to lie and say that I watched a movie, but I didn't watch a movie.
Well, I've actually been to movie theaters in Japan.
What did you think?
I mean, it's the same. Like you sit down and you watch the movie, but yeah, it's like what you're saying. During the movie, people don't talk. Like you rarely hear anyone say anything. Maybe some parts, some people will laugh a little bit, but nothing compared to like in America. I'll laugh because it's funny.
Did you get popcorn when you went?
I think sometimes I get popcorn. Not always.
What kind of popcorn do you get in Japan?
I usually just get like the butter popcorn.
Do they have buttered popcorn where you're at?
Yeah, we have butter. I think we have caramel as well.
I've only been able to find like the candy caramel popcorn. I like mine out here near Tokyo. They don't have the buttered popcorn.
Wait, I could be wrong. Wait, I think they have the salt and the caramel. I'm not sure if they have the butter. I can't remember if my place
Oh
has the
man, I
butter.
miss that so much.
The
They're
butter one's
good with
amazing.
they're good with their butter flavors here in Japan. I'm sure they would have it, wouldn't they?
They don't. The few movie theaters I went to, none of them had it.
Because I've had these disgusting butter potato chips, and it tastes like butter. Couldn't they just add that to the popcorn? Where
Yeah.
butter's supposed to be.
I'm trying to remember if they had or not. I know they had salt and caramel for sure, but I'm not sure about butter. I usually don't eat popcorn when I watch
Oh,
movies.
okay. Yeah, I actually went to a movie theater here one time, and halfway through the movie there was like an earthquake, and it was actually a pretty
my
big
God.
one. And they just stopped the movie, and it was totally just dark in the theater. And they were like, "Yeah, just sit down until we're able to make sure
Go!
that you guys are all safe." And it was just we just sat there for like 30 or so minutes, and eventually they just turned the screen back on, and they were like, "Dozo."
What if it was
I
like a
forgot
horror
what
movie and you
happened.
just hear the doors locked.
Oh my gosh, that would have been awesome.
That's when you cry.
So my last movie was Chucky 4.
Chucky Chan 4.
Chucky-chan! Oh my
Chucky
god.
Chan.
I love it.
Is there anything else?
One last thing we'd like to leave you off with is before coming to Japan, I think it would be very good to practice the very basic expressions and what would you say? Like thank you and like hello and like goodbye expressions that you would use in Japan. Because even those small little gestures can be very nice to use when you're in Japan, and Japanese people actually do appreciate it. What would you use, Clayton? Like, what words would you recommend?
What words would I recommend? So, when you're going to say goodbye, say bye bye. They'll know what it means.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing.
Yeah. Just adding on top of what you guys were talking about, I think, especially because most Japanese people don't speak English, so even if you're able to like take the time to learn basic phrases, I think it'll really go a long way.
Yeah.
And especially for me, I studied Japanese 4 years before coming to Japan, and when I was finally able to use my Japanese with like real native speakers, it kind of made all of my studying feel like it was worth it at that moment, if that makes any sense. Um, I mean, it's just cool to be able to talk to other people in a different language too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. And then don't feel bad if you make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in there because I make mistakes all the time.
And I think it's good to make mistakes because it shows Japanese people like your Japanese is not perfect as well. Like as they're trying to use English, so making mistakes actually encourages them, to speak a little more to you.
Right? It like lightens the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Japanese isn't really like an easy language to learn either, so I think it's kind of expected that you'll make mistakes. Just own it.
Hi.
With that being said, do you guys want to wrap things up?
Yeah. Sure do. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to, you can find us on social media. We're at Hello Nihon Pod. Feel free to follow us wherever you're listening to us right now, and go ahead and give us 5 stars if you want to. 5 stars would be even better. But until next time, bye.
Bye bye.